Good morning.
Good morning.
I am very pleased to see everyone here today. This is a very big event for us, and I know it is for y'all. This is an amazingly beautiful building. I was telling the principal that Mr. Montemagno that I've never been in a school that's never been unique. And it's beautiful. It is awesome. So congratulations on the new school. This time, since I've already brought up his name, it's my pleasure to present to you the principal of this high school, Mr. Montemagno. He's going to make several comments and introductions. And it's Mr. Montemagno. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Montemagno, and I am the proud principal of Dr. Thomas E. Randle High School. It's with great pleasure that I welcome everyone here this morning. It is such a historic event. I would also like to recognize the following individuals for today's attendance. I would first like to introduce and recognize Lamar CISD Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Rosenberg Lodge. I would also like to take this time and opportunity to introduce to you our LCISD school board members who are in attendance. First, Trustee Mrs. Mandy Randle. Ms. Kay Danzig. And Mr. John Welch. I'd also like to take the opportunity to introduce former superintendent of schools for Lamar Consolidated, as well as the namesake of this wonderful building, Dr. Thomas E. Randle. I'd also like to recognize the principal of Wright Junior High, Mr. Jasper. Finally, I'd like to recognize some other dignitaries that are in attendance. Fort Bend County Sheriff, Mr. Eric Fagan. City of Richmond Mayor, Becky Haas. And City of Rosenberg Mayor, Kevin Randle. Again, thank you for coming this morning. This was my first time having such an amazing presentation, and I look forward to it. And thank you. Remember, Thomas Randle High School, where excellence is the standard. Thank you.
Again, we welcome everyone for being here, particularly the dignitaries. I didn't realize we had so many. Thank you. Until the development of steel frame construction in the 20th century, most buildings were erected by stacking stone on stone. Each part of the building was marked by a ceremony. The foundation stone was the first stone placed underground at the beginning of the building's foundation. The cornerstone was the first stone placed above ground. It is a massive stone marking the northeast corner of the building. At the top of the building was the capstone. The ceremonies of placing those stones were under the direction of the stonemasons who built the building, although the highest officials of the church and state usually participated, including the king or his representative. These ceremonies were occasions for public celebrations and fairs, each marking the progress of the construction of the cathedral or the castle. When we level this cornerstone for this school, we will be performing the ceremony that is more than 300 years old. The earliest record of an official Masonic ceremony for a public building was the laying of the foundation stone of the new Royal Infantry of Edinburgh, Scotland. It is the one ceremony that connects modern Freemasons directly to the craftsmen or stonemasons of the Middle Ages, and it is essentially the same ceremony used to dedicate many of the great cathedrals and buildings in Europe. References to cornerstone ceremonies are found in the Bible in both the Old and New Testaments, which further indicates their antiquity from a historical perspective. However, cornerstone ceremonies today are normally symbolic and rarely involve the setting of the massive blocks of granite of yesteryear. American Freemasons have been leveling cornerstones since 1734, when Grandmaster Benjamin Franklin presided at the ceremonies for Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Nearly 60 years later, George Washington, wearing the apron of a Master Mason and acting as Grand Master of Masons in Maryland, leveled the cornerstone of the United States Capitol building on September the 18th, 1793. The first Masonic cornerstone in Texas was leveled on February 3rd, 1838, when Reverend more than 115 Texas courthouses, hundreds of public schools, and numerous places of worship have cornerstones that were leveled by Freemasons. Texas Freemasons are privileged to have been invited to level the cornerstone of this brand new school. And we are very pleased that you could be here today to witness this time-honored ceremony. Right Worshipful Grand Chaplain, you will lead us in prayer. May I ask everyone to please rise.
As we've gathered to perform the ceremony of leveling this cornerstone, we invoke the blessing of divine providence upon this undertaking. May all that is said and done here today remind us of our duty not only to serve others, but to always remember that all great gifts come from you. May this building serve the people of this community for years to come, and may the lives of all who enter it be directed in the path which you will have us follow. Amen.
So let it be.
Please be seated. Right Worshipful Grand Senior Warden of the Grand Lodge of Texas, having been invited to lay the cornerstone of this edifice and having assembled for that purpose, I now order that this representation of the Grand Lodge of Texas do now assist me in the performance of this work. This my will and pleasure you will, Junior Warden, that the brethren and others present may have due notice thereof.
Right Worshipful Grand Junior Warden, it is your Holy Most Worshipful Grand Master that this cornerstone be now laid in Masonic honors. This you will proclaim to all present, that the occasion may be observed with due order and solemnity.
The brethren and all persons present will take notice that the Most Worshipful Grand Master will now proceed to lay this cornerstone in due Masonic form. You will, therefore, observe the order and decorum becoming the important and solemn ceremonies in which we are about to engage.
Right Worshipful Deputy Grand Master, what is the proper jewel of your office?
The square.
You will apply the square to those parts of the stone that should be square.
I have applied the square to the stone, Most Worshipful Grand Master, and the craftsmen have done their duty.
Right Worshipful Grand Senior Warden, What is the proper jewel of your office?
The level.
You will apply the level to the stone.
I have applied the level to the stone, most worshipful Grand Master, and the craftsmen have done their duty.
Right Worshipful Grand Junior Warden, what is the proper jewel of your office?
The plumb.
You will apply the plumb to the several edges of the stone.
I have applied the plumb and square, most worshipful Grand Master, and the craftsmen have done their duty.
Having full confidence in your skill in the royal art, it remains with me to finish the work. We will dedicate the stone with corn, wine, and oil.
May the health of the workmen employed in this undertaking be preserved to them, and the Supreme Architect of the universe bless and prosper their labors. Amen.
So let it be.
May plenty be showered down upon the people of this state, and may the blessings of the bounteous giver of all things attend their philanthropic undertakings. Amen.
So let it be.
To you, brother architect, are confided the implements of operative masonry with the fullest confidence that by your skill and taste, the fabric shall arise which shall add luster to your fame as a master builder. May it endure for many ages, a monument to the liberality and benevolences of its founders. Amen.
So let it be.
Most worshipful Grand Master, Right Worshipful Grand Lodge officers, past and present, distinguished. Why do we level cornerstones? And what do the ceremonies mean? As previously stated by the Grand Master, one of the ancient customs of Freemasonry observed is the symbolic leveling of a cornerstone. The ceremony is as old as Freemasonry itself and connects us directly to those craftsmen and stonemasons of the Middle Ages who erected the magnificent cathedrals of Europe. The definition of the cornerstone is a cubical or rectangular polished stone at the corner of a building, near the foundation but not part of the foundation, and high enough to be easily read, having carved upon it the name of the owner or purpose of the structure, the date of erection, and sometimes other data. Such a stone is frequently made hollow, and at the time it is laid, is filled with various articles current at the time. Whether it is believed, which is believed will be interesting to those who remove the building at some distant future day. These articles may be coins, books, newspapers, city directories, etc. The tradition of deposits of various articles date back to the time of ancient Mesopotamia. The three working tools of the square, level, and plumb were found in the tomb in Egypt and were among the most ancient tools of operative masonry ever discovered. The three elements of corn, wine, and oil have been used in dedications of building since the time of ancient Rome. Corn represents the nourishment and plenty. Wine represents refreshment, and oil represents joy, peace, healing, and comfort. It is customary in operative masonry to place the first stone of the building in the northeast corner. The cornerstone, which is to Freemasonry a symbol of morality, is placed between the north, which Freemasons consider a place of darkness, and the east, which Freemasons consider a place of light. It symbolizes man's progress from darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge. The cornerstone was leveled by the ancient craftsmen with great care. So long as they erected the walls in line with the sides of the cornerstone, the wall would be true and square. And as they built the wall above the stone with a plumb line, so long as it remained in line with the cornerstone, it too would be true and square. The cornerstone reminds us that if we are to build any lasting structure, whether temporal or spiritual, it must rest upon a firm foundation and one which is truly set. When properly prepared by the working tools of operative masonry, the cornerstone is perfectly square with each side, perpendicular to the other. When firmly set and leveled, it provides a foundation and pattern upon which the greatest structures may be erected. Walls extending outward from these sides of the cornerstone will be square to each other, however far they reach. The building, rising above the cornerstone, may attain great heights, yet remain true to the plan of the architect. So too may the influence of our lives be expanded into the world around us, and may reach great spiritual and intellectual heights if we follow the lines generated by a true cornerstone well set. And so, the cornerstone is the symbol and embodiment of all that is perfect in form, alignment, and character. To the presiding officers of Rosenberg Lodge number 881, we wish to express our sincere thanks and appreciation for giving us the honor and privilege of leveling Cornerstone on this new school building. May this school building stand ever tall among the citizens of the state, and may the wisdom, strength, and justice of those who occupy it from time to time distinguish this building and this community with paramount integrity, impeccable reputation, and outstanding service. Thank you, most worshipful Grand Master.
Right Worshipful Grand Chaplain, you will lead us in prayer.
As we conclude this ceremony, may each of us go forth in our daily lives committed to live in accordance with the principles which we have here expressed. May we be given the wisdom to understand the truth and the courage to translate it into action. May the blessings of heaven remain upon this structure and go with and guide each of us as we depart. Amen.
Please be seated. Before I close this, I want to take a couple of moments as a personal privilege to make just a couple more introductions. First of all, my wife is sitting right here in the front. She's followed me on this course of what we call Freemasonry. We just call it fun. But, and it's Linda Ray Henderson. We just celebrated our 38th year of bliss. I also have a friend of mine that I've known since 1992 sitting in the audience. I first met him actually through Brian Dodson, our past Grand Master, on the Speakers Committee at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Now, I thought he was the mayor down here. I don't know. But it's John Potter. John's a fellow Rotarian, and he's the past president of the Houston Club, and I guess as well down here. So he also runs the wine tent. I'm not sure what else to call it down here in the area. So I'm pleased that you're here, John. Thank you. To the principal, Mr. Montalongo, I don't know what to say. You've got an amazing future right in front of you, and this is a beautiful edifice, and we are very pleased to be a part of it. Thank you again.